Welcome to a 95-degree day in New York City. We're about to use FSD to get home. So let's start the drive home. Gotta pick up my daughter from daycare. All right, so we're here inside the Tesla. This is a 2023 Tesla Model Y, so a couple years old by now, but let's just make sure. I only just set up full self-driving, blah, blah, blah. Leave that as that, expanded. I'll set up Smart Summon later on. Display, relative, cool. All right, I think we're good there, right? Mess around with these settings later. Speed profile, I'm gonna run with hurry. And what are we on right now? Software. All right, so as you can see, we're on FSD 14.2.2.5. So let's get to it. Cool. I'm going to zoom this out. Unfortunately, I don't have a phone holder that I can hold this horizontally in the car. Sorry about that. So I'm going to have to record this vertically. I'll see what I can do with it. So right now it's about 4:43 in the afternoon. I'm going to head to home from here in South Ozone Park, Queens, to go pick up my daughter from daycare and then head home from there. Usually this trip is probably like a half hour or something like that. So let's see what happens. I'm going to try to not intervene or interfere with FSD. If I have to, I have to. You'll probably see why. And along the way, I'll just share a little bit about like what I'm experiencing, and then also some things about FSD that have occurred in the past and why I haven't really signed up or used it regularly. All right, so I just hit start self-driving, so we should be moving shortly. So, just as context, I had previously had a Tesla Model 3. This was years ago now, probably like from 2021 to 2023, I had a Tesla Model 3. And back then, let's see what's going to happen. Mercedes doesn't stop it. A Tesla Model 3, 2020 Tesla Model 3 that I primarily, it only had autopilot. It did have, at the time, I had subscribed for like a month or two of FSD, but I found that it just wasn't very good. There was a lot of shadow braking. My fear with FSD back then, and even autopilot right now, is that, you know, with braking, people following you so closely, like there's a lot of room for accidents. Now that was a few years ago. I did use it on a trip when we traveled to Colorado, and I was looking back at that video. I barely used it just because it just wasn't very competent, and so rather than like go ow, that's, you know, having to keep changing and coming in and out of FSD, I think I primarily just drove the entire trip. All right, so what's it going to do here? It's going to want to go into this intersection here, which I don't like because it's actually a two-way street, and it's super narrow to what? He wants to do it. Oh my gosh. So yeah, during that trip, we used FSD just a couple of times. I remember, like it was competent on an interstate at the time. We took I-80 all the way out west, and then, you know, so for that kind of stuff, it's fine. But city driving, I did not feel comfortable at all with. All right, let's see what's gonna happen here, because we've got an open door and then another car coming this way. Navigate it. yeah, on these two-way streets, it's pretty challenging because again, it's super narrow, and there are people who, oftentimes when I'm driving on this street going home, there's people like washing their car, so their butts in the street. You got people double park, which creates issues. You got, as you can see ahead, trucks, garbage trucks. So anyway, so far it's pretty competent. Now that again, all that context was a few years ago, so I haven't really played with FSD since then. So this is the first time in a good 4 years since I've actually, I kid. I think earlier this year or late last year, Tesla provided like a complimentary 30-day trial. 30 days of FSD, so I was using it then. So that's an accurate. I did use it a few months ago. All right, now this is what I'm talking about. Up ahead, I don't know if you can see it right now. There's two-way traffic. There's a FedEx truck. All right. All right, now this next street intersection is probably going to be incredibly challenging. I know up ahead is Liberty Avenue, and there's a grocery store, supermarket on the corner. People double park in a no standing area. There's pedestrians crossing the street here, and then Liberty Avenue goes two ways, so there's a ton of traffic going back and forth. So this, I hope I don't have to intervene, but this is where I would oh, it's turning left, right. Okay. Forget about it. It wants to make a right turn onto Liberty Avenue. Oh, it moved over for that pedestrian. I almost wish you could customize the path, because I would prefer right now, instead of making this right onto Liberty Avenue, I would prefer going straight. But it wants to make this right turn. See, as you can see, the people ahead of me, they're just stuck in, because this is a pretty challenging intersection. Let's see if this guy is gonna. Wow, that was cool. It like slowly crept up to make that right turn, and now we're gonna. Okay. Right, I'm not gonna intervene. All right, pretty good. Yeah, FSD Tesla, if you're watching this video, you gotta definitely put FSD through its paces out here, some parts of Queens, which we're gonna do on the Van Wyck. The BQE is, I think it's an eternal nightmare. I'm sure up in the Bronx, the cross Bronx is always a challenge. I think Manhattan's actually fairly easy. There's a lot of volume, but I guess pedestrian-wise it's tough if you're around Times Square, Columbus Circle. But there are aspects of here. I'm excited to see how FSD handles right over here. The Van Wyck has been under construction for the last 3 years. It should be wrapping up shortly, but there's a lot of traffic. Look at this dude. I'm gonna have to intervene here because there's an ambulance. So I didn't take over the steering wheel there. I just hit the accelerator to move up because that ambulance needed to move forward. So that does count as one intervention. So the other reason, going back to like rerouting, like the Van Wyck Expressway, if you're kind of familiar with it, has been under a ton of construction lately over the past couple of years, and so I prefer hopping on earlier on exit 2 as opposed to up here Liberty Avenue, because like it's just so jammed up with volume. Anyways, it chose it, so we'll see what happens. As you can see, this is very unforgiving to make a left turn. Alright, we made it. I mean, I don't know if I would have made the left on a red light, but alright, Tesla. So just some story time. One of the reasons why I want to start testing out FSD is because we're actually got a couple trips coming up. Let's see, let a taxi through, man, come on. I wonder if it was Mad Max, it would have let that Uber through. So, yeah, we're actually taking a couple trips. Next weekend, we're going to be visiting family in Connecticut, actually for a wedding. So, I plan on, trying FSD out there. On the way, the way there, the way back. And obviously, while we're in Connecticut, I mean, FSD it's not challenging at all in Connecticut. So, I don't anticipate any issues there. And we're also taking a road trip down to New Orleans in August, and everyone's familiar with 95 if you've ever driven down there, so that's not too crazy. I mean, I obviously want to do it for myself, but then on the way back, we're going to stop in Tennessee, Knoxville. So just a different, I've never taken, I think it's I-76, something like that, I-75. On the way back, so just a new path. So I'm excited to use FSD on those trips. So I figured, like, why not start now, get a little feel for how this latest version operates. Because again, at this point, it's not just me in the car; it's me, Steph, and 2 little ones. So I want to make sure FSD behaves confidently. All right, what do we have here? So as you can see, it's a construction area. They haven't finished off the road. Okay, funnels into one lane. Not too bad. The dude behind me right now is, I don't understand. Like, I would love, if you are watching this video, I would love to know, if you can leave a comment, how closely you follow the car ahead of you. And if you are one of these, a driver who loves to be right up on someone's rear end, why? You're not getting anywhere any faster. And this theory, like, oh, I can't let anyone get ahead of me, like, it's driving. Like, there's cars ahead of you, there's cars behind you, like, just leave space. I don't get it. Like, why? Oh, that one in the Jeep right there is texting, so stay away from there. So I got a Honda next to me that doesn't want to let us in, but we are in. We're in. So I think from here, it's actually a relatively straightforward drive. There is traffic. We have to get over at least one lane, because up ahead, about a mile or so, the Van Wyck and the Grand Central split. So just got to get over one lane. But in terms of traffic, the Grand Central is, depending on what lane we stay in, I usually stay left lane just because there's traffic backed up from the LIE entrances, exits. There's also Citi Field if there's a game. In the next couple of weeks, we got the World Cup starting, so there's going to be, I'm sure, increased traffic for that. There's also, I think, the US Open starts shortly, so that's some additional traffic. Either way, I generally prefer staying on towards the left. So I want to see where the vehicle wants to remain. Right now, it's just chilling in the right lane. Also, that left lane is interesting right here where we're at. If you drive on the Van Wyck, you probably know this because it's all three lanes shift left a little bit, and that left lane has a ton of potholes. Not a ton. It's like 3 potholes, like things in the ground that I try to avoid going over them just because they hit really hard, and I don't want to pop a tire going over those things. So I'm just curious like how FSD would handle that, but again, it's chilling right here in the right lane. Now they got traffic up ahead. I wonder what, it's a disabled vehicle. So let's see. Oh, it's picking it up. Interesting. Oh, that was the chance to get in there. Gotta go, because this dude behind. Oh, we're back in the right lane. It just put on the left turn signal to go into the left lane, and it decided not to. Oh, we're going back in left lane. I'd love to know if you're watching this, wherever you're from, like, is this your traffic going home from work, school? Like I was born and raised in New York City, and I live in New York City. New York City is my bubble, right? So this is what traffic is to me. But I'm curious where you're at. Like, is this tougher, less challenging? Very curious. Like I've heard stories. I mean, people categorically say the LA, what is it, the 305, 5. Yeah, it'd be I-5, I think, right? Is standstill traffic. I've heard traffic into and out of like Atlanta Metro is super crazy. Although when we visited Atlanta a couple years ago, I didn't find any issues. There wasn't traffic. So anyway, I'd love to know what traffic is to you. So be sure to drop those comments. All right. So up ahead, about a mile from here, is the entrance for the ramp for the LIE, which is usually traffic. But I'm glad we're on the left side, the left lane. One, it's faster, and then two, you don't have to deal with, or it's not as bad with the backup from the LIE. One other comment on FSD. Well, FSD. I'm not going to say autopilot because autopilot's not really designed for it. Is like avoiding, and this goes back to the left lane on the Van Wyck. Up ahead, there's a couple of sewer drains. Like you see, we just passed one right here. There's more, but those sewer drains, like everything dips into them, and I try to avoid it just because, again, I don't want to puncture or blow out a tire, cause damage to suspension. So I wonder if Tesla might be working on ways to help avoid those issues. And I don't know, it'd be really nice to just be able to avoid them. Or the alternative, like have a little give with the steering wheel, that if you try to avoid something, it doesn't come off of FSD. So far, this has been a very competent drive. I'm very impressed. From thinking about the last time I used FSD on this kind of drive. I wonder how it would you can see on the right side here, that's the exit to get on the LIE, which is a ton of traffic. I wonder how it would handle that, like where it would decide to try to fit into the exit. Right now we are cruising. I love it. And the rest of the way, just to let you know, I regret not having my other phone hold. The rest of the way is exactly how the route I take to get to daycare. So I don't anticipate there's traffic by. Oh wow, interesante, my friend. There's certainly traffic because the exit is right near, or right on LaGuardia Airport. Is actually the exit to get into the airport, or one of the exits to get into the airport. So there's a ton of traffic there. But again, I don't think anything challenging. It's just a whole bunch of like taxi drivers that drive unnecessarily aggressive. Left lane is clear. I wonder if it will consider. Let's see what it wants to do. It's making. Oh no! No, don't do that. It wants to move into the right lane. I disagree with you, Tesla. So the exit is about a mile away, and so mile and a half from here, roughly. So getting into the right lane, it's just you're just backed up. What I generally do here is I remain in the left lane, get as close to the exit as possible, and then slide over. Just because there's one or two merges from airport traffic that causes that right lane to back up quite a bit. So I prefer staying in the left lane until I need to come over to the exit. My favorite aspect of FSD, autopilot, is this. In stop and go traffic, like, it maintains its distance from the vehicle ahead. I find that, if I'm driving in traffic, stop and go traffic, like, that's where just because my mind will wander, I'll usually listen to a podcast or something like that. My mind will wander, and it's like those little gaps where you're not paying attention to the vehicle ahead of you, or maybe the vehicle to the side of you, where I think a lot of accidents occur. So the fact that FSD maintains that distance in front of you, that's one of the, I think, most relaxing advantages of FSD, and even autopilot, just keeping the vehicle a distance from the vehicle ahead of you, instead of you always having to negotiate, like, oh, am I getting too close, am I approaching too quickly? Yeah, so this is the first airport entrance, as to the right. As you can see, there's an exit from the airport up ahead, which is the same exit that I've got to get off. So there's a lot of interchanging vehicles on that exit. One of the coolest things about this drive, I think right now, airplane traffic it lands over the Grand Central, I think, just because of crosswalks. Anyways, so if you're in the Model Y, Model 3 as well, but any Tesla, especially when my girls are in the back, like if we're driving down here, the plane, you could kind of time it. You see the approach of airplanes to the left from where we are right now, coming into the runway. It's super cool. Like the planes pass right over, and because of the glass roof, they get to just stare up and see the plane. It's awesome. I mean, maybe we'll catch one as we're getting off. I'm not going to say anything, but the person to the right of us, texting while driving, oh my gosh, why? I don't understand, like, why does everyone need to text and drive? Or you, like, the dude to our left, texting and driving. You could always tell because the vehicle acts erratically. The person behind them honked the horn. I just don't understand, like, and especially if you got kids. Why are you, like, that's a bad example. Don't text and drive. It's just stupid. We've still got, as per navigation, it's another mile, just about a mile before we get to the exit. So, very curious when it will start moving over. I don't move over yet, unless there's no traffic here. There are days like holidays and whatnot where there's no traffic, so fine. But otherwise, I usually wait pretty much to the exit. Once the exit opens up, that's when I start moving over. Also, side note, man, right now the temperature reading says 102. Jeeves. I'm in New York City. Orange and blue skies, baby. Orange and blue skies. Go Knicks. Except if you're watching this from San Antonio, give it a like. Since traffic's moving slowly, one thing I like doing now is actually looking at the faces of people in vehicles. I challenge, count how many people you see smiling. It's super interesting. Like, not many people smile while they're driving, and I try to be conscious about it now, just to smile as I'm driving. But if you want to play a little game with yourself when you're in traffic like this, just when you get a chance, look over to your left, look over to your right, wherever you are, and just notice, like, people do not smile when they're driving. I mean, people don't smile, period, a lot, right? Like, if you're on a bus or train, supermarket, actually, supermarket people smile, but driving, man, nobody's smiling. Everyone's so mad. Alright, so I don't know if you can see this video because it's zoomed out quite a bit, but to the right, that's the traffic leaving LaGuardia Airport. So that's going to merge with that rightmost lane. That rightmost lane is where we need to get into, because then up ahead, about half a mile, is the exit to get out of this place. So it ends up being like those two lanes merge to form the exit coming onto the Grand Central and getting off the Grand Central. There's a truck to our right that just merged behind me. I probably would have gone in right here. Just because you're not going to get any, it's not going to go any faster staying in this lane. So curious. Let's see. And the other issue is that the traffic to the right, those vehicles are all merging as often as far left as it can. So. Oh, look at that. It's vehicle slid to the right because of that motorcycle. Side note, I think when we jumped in the vehicle, it had an estimated arrival time of like 5:24, something like that, and it's added 10 minutes so far. So our ETA right now is 5:30. All right, just turned on the blinker. Go right. No. If you're the person driving that red Infiniti we just passed, you're talking on your phone. You have Bluetooth. I really don't get it. Like, you have Bluetooth. Why not have the conversation over Bluetooth? Again, I don't get it. Am I missing something? Like, your car vehicle's Bluetooth. Connect the damn Bluetooth and don't drive with your phone to your head. I just do not get it, man. Like, I don't like having conversations at all while I'm driving. You might have heard, I've had, I think, 2 or 3 phone calls on this video, but on this video, do I take them? Yeah, they're always on Bluetooth, but I don't like it because I can't really. People are calling me about work stuff, and I can't. I don't know. It's like to focus, man. Especially when I have my kids in my car. All right, let's see what happens here. Go right. Oh, this taxi punched us out of there. Let's see what happens now. We're gonna go in. Yeah. All right. 1 lane down, 2 more to go. It's gonna go in here. Go in here. Yeah, buddy. 1 more to go. After this taxi here. Love it. Very good. No airplanes. Yeah, so usually the landing path is right over here. So it's cool. Like, you see I don't know if you can see it in the video, but the landing lights are to the left right now. those planes come right over the car. Alright, so let's see what happens here, because these two lanes, there's a turn lane to the right. So alright, we're going to situate ourselves here in the left lane. Cool. No, now it's supposed to go in the right. Oh. I don't know. Well, it turned the blinker on. It wants to go into the lane to the right. It's fine right here, so hopefully it doesn't work. Is that guy talking to us? Oh, it's still pushed to the right. Curious why it did that. I don't mind because I usually stay in this lane, but I wonder why it chose to move over that. I will say, so far, I'm pleasantly surprised with how competent FSD has behaved. I thought, it'd have a little more challenge when we got to Liberty Avenue, because that's not easy to navigate. That Van Wyck, getting onto the Van Wyck, where it did by the Liberty Avenue intersection, not easy. So I applaud it for that. Let's see what happens here, because I think this light, as you can see, it's a huge backup. I actually want to stay put. This light's going to change right now. It's green. And this entire intersection is screwed. That's cool. I appreciate that it recognized that that lane to the right is parking. Like, that's fascinating to me to think about. Like, how does it know, FSD, that the right lane is a park lane? I wonder if it knows that. It's got to download super detailed maps, right, of what's parking, what's not parking, especially here in New York City, where everything's becoming a bike lane. So up ahead, it looks like there's traffic getting onto, I think it's the BQE entrance. So that's what's causing that log jam, but we're on the right, so as long as we stay behind this Honda, we're fine. Alright, so up ahead, I don't think it's too challenging. The right lane, there are parked cars, the bus stop there. Then you've got, again, the entrance here to the Grand Central BQE. So, let's see what happens. Right now, you kind of need to get into the right to avoid staying behind all this merging traffic. Okay, doke. We're clear! Go! That wasn't that bad. Yo, doing it in the Lexus went all the way to the left to go make a right turn. What a numbskull, right? Like, it's a pothole I'd like to avoid. Right, now up ahead, the left lane is a turn lane that's always backed up. So I would really love right now to move over one lane. Come on, Tesla. I wonder if you ask it, hey, Grok. Oh, okay. Yeah, it did it. I'm sure that's also because of the drive profile. I've got it in hurry, right? With Mad Max, I probably would have done it 30 seconds ago. Okie dokie. Not much else. I think next. Oh, you know, I'm curious about the next. There's a speed camera up ahead, and it's pretty aggressive. The speed limit is 25, so if you're like going 28, it knocks you. So I hope it slows down. Let's see if this FSD trip is gonna cost me. What's a red light? I mean, a speed chip. Like $60. Is it worth it? I already paid $100 for the month. Let's see what this thing does here, man. Okay. Yeah, this is super confusing too because like the lanes to the right merge. It's like all these merges out of nowhere. Okay. Oh, don't go in the left lane. Do not go in the left lane. Do not go in the left lane. Oh. It just had its turn signal on, and that was just to get here, but we need to stay in this lane. If it goes to that left lane, forget about it. Traffic galore. Ahead of us was thinking about making that left turn. Oh, no, slow down. Oh, no. Nope. Oh, God, I had to do it. It went faster than the speed limit, and I wanted to avoid a ticket. Oh, God, this guy's just casually crossing the street. Alright, so that was a full disengagement because I might have gotten hit by the camera anyways. It was like 30 something miles an hour on the camera for 25. So that's problematic, man. I'm not trying to get speed camera tickets because of FSD. So that means I have to, correct me if I'm wrong out there, that means I have to change the setting for the, like the speed limit, right? Do that as absolute? That would suck, because the speed limit ever is 40, like, if you're lucky, 40 miles an hour. I'm not trying to drive 40 miles an hour, man. I'm sorry about that. Okay, almost a daycare. Look at that. Pretty good, except for that camera thing. Gotta figure that one out, because and it knows the camera's there, so I wonder why it kept speeding up. Right, a couple more turns and we are home free. Oh my gosh, that's a wide turn. Oh, this little intersection is so bad because there's a ton of people and the cars that are parked there kind of hide them. See what's gonna happen for parking. Oh. Wait. You know what? I'm gonna take over from here, only because there's no parking, so I gotta figure out that situation. But otherwise, I think FSD handled pretty competently. I was surprised, like I mentioned, when we got to the Van Wyck, how it handled getting on the Van Wyck, the Grand Central, all that I was a little concerned about, but it handled it superbly. So applauds to you, FSD. The one thing, one issue that I do have is that speed camera thing, because like if it's gonna just bypass the speed limit where there's a camera, like this gets super expensive really fast. So that's my one gripe with this drive so far, but otherwise I am thoroughly happy with this drive. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Again, anything we talked about in this video, leave comments, how far back you drive, talking on the phone, all that jazz. And with that, see you on the next drive.